Have you ever looked at your bank account and wondered, where did all my money go? You're not alone. But here's the kicker. What if I told you the problem isn't how much you earn, but what you spend? What if the very things you're buying right now are silently sabotaging your financial future? Sounds scary, right? Well, it's true. And today, I'm going to reveal the 10 purchases the middle class makes that are keeping you poorer. These aren't just random expenses. They're traps that seem harmless but are secretly draining your wallet. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be shocked at how much money you could save. Oh, and the last item on this list, it's the most dangerous of all, and you might be guilty of it right now. So, stick around, because this could change everything you know about managing your money. 1. Endless home improvements. Let's start with something we've all done. Home improvements. You look at your house and think, if I just fix this one thing, it'll be perfect. But here's the truth. That one thing never stops. A new kitchen here, a trendy couch there, and before you know it, you've spent thousands on renovations that don't even add real value to your home. Did you know a simple kitchen remodel can cost up to $110,000? And guess what? Most of that money is gone the moment you write the check. But don't get me wrong, no one's saying you should live in a rundown house. The question is, do you really need that new brick wall or trendy couch? Before spending, ask yourself, does this solve a functional problem, or is it just aesthetic? If it's the latter, it might be better to wait. Instead of replacing flooring, imagine starting an investment fund. Instead of buying a new table, you could pay for a vacation up front. These choices get you closer to a financially stable and debt-free future. And here's the kicker. Many of these improvements aren't even for you. They're to impress others. Speaking of spending to keep up appearances, let's move to the next item. 2. Maintaining status. Have you ever bought something just to impress someone? Brand name clothes, expensive watches, luxury accessories. Admit it, everyone has fallen into this trap at least once. The problem arises when it becomes a habit. You start sacrificing your financial future for things that don't actually bring real value to your life. Think about it. That $1,000 bag or $500 watch might seem like a style investment, but in the end, they don't pay your bills or increase your financial security. Most of the time, these items quickly lose value and only serve to feed an illusion of status. Here's a piece of advice that could change your perspective. Before splurging on a luxury item, ask yourself, am I buying this for myself or to impress someone? If it's the latter, reconsider. Instead of spending $1,000 on a branded item, imagine investing that amount with an average annual return of 8%. In 10 years, that could grow to over $2,000. Sounds more appealing, doesn't it? This doesn't mean you can never treat yourself to something beautiful or high quality, but prioritize what truly matters. Invest in timeless, versatile, and functional items. And most importantly, spend because it makes sense for you, not to please others. 3. New cars. Who hasn't dreamed of stepping into a brand new car and enjoying that fresh off the lot smell? It's an amazing feeling, I know. But here's the hard truth. The moment you drive out of the dealership, the car has already lost up to 30% of its value. That's right. And guess who pays for that depreciation? You. New cars are the middle class's dream purchase, and at the same time, one of the biggest personal finance villains. It's not just the initial price that hurts. There's depreciation, financing interest, higher insurance costs, and seemingly endless payments. And all this for an asset that only loses value over time. Want a smarter alternative? Opt for a reliable used car, 2 to 3 years old. Brands like Toyota or Honda, known for their durability, are excellent choices. These vehicles have already gone through most of the depreciation and still offer incredible performance. Plus, whenever possible, pay as much as you can upfront. This eliminates interest and keeps your finances in order. Think about it this way. Instead of spending $48,000 on a new car, which will be worth half that in 5 years, why not invest that money with compound interest? It could grow to over $100,000 in 10 years. That's the kind of decision that puts you on the path to financial freedom. 4. Cutting-edge technology. Do you really need the latest phone, the newest laptop, or the most advanced noise-canceling headphones? Technology evolves fast, and it's tempting to keep up, but this can be expensive, very expensive. And the worst part, most of the time, the impact on your daily life is minimal. For example, a new iPhone can cost $1,200. Now imagine upgrading your phone every year. In a decade, you would have spent over $12,000. And what's worse, most of the upgrades are incremental, a slightly better camera, a feature you barely use. In the end, you're spending out of impulse or fear of being left behind. Here's how to avoid this trap. Only replace your device when your current one no longer meets your needs. Does your phone still make calls, access the internet, and take decent pictures? Then why upgrade? And if you do need a replacement, consider refurbished models or older generations. They'll still perform well and cost significantly less. Now, think about this. What if the money you would spend on a new gadget was used differently? Instead of financing a new phone, you could build an emergency fund, start planning for retirement, or even take a course to increase your income. These choices have a much greater impact on your life. 5. Finance trips. Who doesn't love traveling? Seeing new places, relaxing, creating incredible memories, it's all wonderful. But do you know what's not so great? Coming home to a debt that lasts longer than the memories of the trip. Financing vacations may seem like an easy solution at the time, but it's a trap that steals your financial peace. Think about it. A $5,000 trip financed at a 20% interest rate could end up costing over $6,000 in the end. Now imagine doing this every year. This recurring debt snowballs, turning what should be a moment of relaxation into months or even years of budget strain. Here's the solution. Plan ahead, create a travel fund, and contribute to it every month, even with small amounts. Take advantage of promotions, miles, and budget accommodations to reduce costs. And here's the golden rule. Never travel if you can't pay up front. That way, you enjoy the trip without a debt waiting for you when you return. Imagine coming back from vacation, knowing everything is paid off, and the money you save is working for you. Traveling doesn't have to mean going into debt. With a little discipline, you can turn your experiences into incredible moments free from financial worries. 6. Rarely worn clothes and accessories. How many times have you opened your closet and found clothes or accessories still with the tags? I bet more often than you'd like to admit. This practice of buying expensive pieces for specific occasions, only to wear them once, is a silent trap that drains your finances without you realizing it. Think about it. A $300 suit for a wedding or a $200 dress for a special event seems reasonable, right? Now multiply that by several occasions throughout the year. In 5 years, these costs add up to thousands of dollars. And the worst part, most of these pieces end up forgotten in the back of the closet while your money could be working for you. Here's how to avoid this. Invest in timeless, versatile pieces that can be worn for different occasions. A classic dress or a neutral suit, for example, never goes out of style and can be combined in many ways. For very specific events, consider renting the outfit or borrowing it from a friend. It's cheaper and just as effective. Another trick is to regularly review your wardrobe. Analyze what you already have and create new combinations. Often, you don't need something new, just a more creative approach. Before buying, ask yourself, do I really need this, or am I buying on impulse? This simple reflection can save you from many unnecessary purchases. 7. Expensive parties and celebrations. Who doesn't love celebrating a special moment? Weddings, birthdays, graduation parties. All these events are important, but do they really need to cost a fortune? The truth is, many people end up spending more than they can afford to create the perfect event, and this, without realizing it, puts enormous pressure on their finances. Let's talk numbers. The average wedding in the United States costs about $30,000. Now, think about this. That money could be the start of an investment that in 20 years would be worth more than $150,000. On the other hand, the party lasts one night, but the debt can stick with you for years, especially if you have to sacrifice other priorities to pay for it. Don't get me wrong. Celebrating is important, but it's possible to do so smartly. How about cutting costs by choosing a more affordable venue or opting for a smaller, more intimate event? Often, a simple and meaningful celebration is worth far more than an extravagant party that leaves a hole in your budget. Another tip: personalize handmade elements, the famous DIYs. Not only do they save money, but they also make the event unique. For example, creating your own decorations or preparing part of the menu can be more economical and still add a special touch to the occasion. 8. Unnecessary subscription plans. How many subscriptions do you pay for every month? Netflix, gym memberships, meditation apps, music services. The list seems endless. Now, here's the big question. Do you really use all of them? Because if you don't, you might be throwing money away. Worse, you might not even realize the actual impact on your wallet. The average American spends about $400 a year on rarely used subscriptions. This may not seem like much in the short term, but over 10 years, that's $4,000. And what's even scarier, many services continue to charge because people forget to cancel after the free trial period. It's like having a leak in your finances. Here's how to fix this once and for all. First, thoroughly review your bills and identify all recurring charges. Then, ask yourself, do I really use or need this? If the answer is no, cancel it immediately. Apps like Truebill or Rocket Money can help track and cancel subscriptions for you. And before signing up for anything new, get into the habit of evaluating its cost-benefit. Ask yourself, will this bring real value to my life, or is it just a convenience? Often, free alternatives or one-time purchases can solve the same problem without burdening your monthly budget. 9. Cheap purchases that don't last. Who hasn't been tempted by an irresistible deal? A cheap piece of furniture, a discounted outfit, or a super affordable appliance. The feeling of saving is great, but do you know what's even better? Avoiding unnecessary expenses on products that break or wear out too quickly. Cheap often ends up being expensive. Think about it. You buy a $50 chair that seems like a bargain, but it breaks in a year. Then you have to buy another one and another. In 5 years, you've spent $200 or more when you could have invested $150 in a quality chair that would last twice or 3 times as long. This cycle happens with furniture, appliances, and even disposable clothing. The solution? Invest in quality. Before buying, research reviews and choose brands known for their durability. Think about the cost per use. Divide the item's price by its expected lifespan. Often, something that seems expensive initially ends up being more economical over time. A practical example: high-quality cotton clothing or solid wood furniture are generally smarter choices. Additionally, avoid the impulse to buy just because it's cheap. Ask yourself, do I really need this now? This simple reflection can save you from accumulating useless items and unnecessary expenses. And when possible, wait for quality promotions, like those that happen at the end of a season or during major discount events like Black Friday. 10. Seasonal decorations. Decorating your home for Christmas, Halloween, or even Thanksgiving is fun, right? But do you know what's not so fun? The financial impact of these seasonal purchases over the years. What starts with one ornament here and another there can turn into an annual expense that drains your budget without you realizing it. Think about it. You spend $200 a year on seasonal decorations. Seems small, right? But in 10 years, that's $2,000. Money that could have been invested, generating much more return. Furthermore, many of these decorations end up forgotten in storage or need to be replaced because they go out of style or break. It's a never-ending cycle. The good news? You don't have to give up the magic of the holidays to save. Reusing what you already have is a great start. Invest in quality items that last for years and choose a more classic style that never goes out of fashion. Another tip: take advantage of post-season sales to buy decorations at a fraction of the price. Less can also be more. A minimalist style with fewer items can create an elegant look while saving space and money. After all, the true spirit of the holidays is creating memories with loved ones, not filling your house with things. So, what do you think? Are you guilty of any of these financial traps? The good news is you can start making changes today. Small steps lead to big wins, and your future self will thank you. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you're going to stop spending on? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more tips on building the life you deserve. Remember, true wealth isn't about what you spend, it's about what you keep. See you in the next video.